Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Band and Beers. It is the only podcast that's out here matching your favorite bands with our favorite beers. You know the deal. I say the names of everybody and we do the thing, usually. But today, we're going to do a little something different and treat you to a special little song written by the Band and Beers crew and our very special co-writer, ChatGPT. Anyway, this song is called Beers and Bands. And it goes a little something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the bars where the music plays, we sing along to our favorite bands. With a cold beer in our hand, we dance and we cheer to the beat of the band. Bands and beer, they go hand in hand. The sound of the drum and the taste of the can. With the buzz in our heads and a skip in our step, we rock out all night with no regrets. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan McHenry.
From the stage, the music flows with the beer in hand. We let it go. Our worries fade with our every beat. We're lost in the sound of our favorite street. I think I messed it up, so I'm going to the chorus. Bands and beers, they go hand in hand. The sound of the guitar and the taste of the can. With the buzz in our heads and a skip in our step, we rock all night with no regrets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dusty Swartz.
With a clink of our glasses and a shout to the crowd, we celebrate life and the music that surrounds us. We raise our beers high in salute to the night and dance to the beat until morning light.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are A Band and Beers.
Bands and beers,
they
they go hand in hand. The sounds of the keys and the taste of the can. With a buzz in our heads and a skip in our step, we rock out all night with no regrets.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are A Band and Beers. We're here to make you drink beer, remember Garden State, and feel sad and stuff. And we're just about ready to get rocking and rolling and cracking and drinking. Boys, welcome to the very musical edition of the latest episode of the Band and Beers podcast.
Yeah, we got it in one. We got it in one, everyone out there.
One take. There you go.
Could we do it better? Maybe.
Could have probably used a rehearsal and a second take.
Oh,
Maybe some vocal
We
lessons
haven't even
for
said
me.
who the band is yet, so
Oh,
maybe our
haven't you
listener,
guessed yet?
yeah,
We'll get there eventually.
Hopefully they're guessing at home.
Before we get to the present, let's reminisce about the past. This is our first time being together for a while. We had a couple, as they say, in the can.
Oh, that's right.
So the latest episode that we just had was my pick, the band Oasis, frontrunner for our worst episode ever.
Woo!
Debatable. We had some singing in that episode as well.
Actually, yes.
So if you hate our singing, then yes, it
Yeah.
was.
This
This is going to be a very tough one for somebody to get through.
That was a morning recording.
Yeah, the
I'm
morning.
making
You think the
excuses
morning
for it
energy
now.
was off?
Yeah, I think we're an afternoon, evening type crowd.
Oh, definitely.
I still love Oasis. Great songs. If you're not a fan of the pot, just watch YouTube. I'll throw in some extra fun stuff for you. Usually, we explain what this is and what we're doing. Dan, you usually take that part.
Yes, I do.
Pass it over to Dusty. See
All
how he
right,
does.
Dusty.
So, guys, we're recording a podcast. A podcast is a multimedia type of
Skip
platform
that part.
where.
Go forward.
Oh, okay. So this is our podcast.
Right.
It's called A Band and Beers, and what we like to do is we match your favorite band to our favorite beers, and maybe our favorite beers to your favorite band, depending on how things work out. So we're going to talk about a band today, being the Shins. This is my pick for this week, and what we're going to do now is we're all going to discuss kind of our feelings, how they make us feel, and we're going to try to say what beer is the Shins.
You're right, Dan. It's harder than it looks.
It is.
And this is usually the part where I kick it to Dusty for some inane chatter. You got any of that for us?
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now. A lot of
there's
sports
not.
stuff, all kinds of good. We found out recently that Philadelphia has, we have tons of microbreweries. There was an article in the
area is
local
killing
paper
it with
today.
breweries.
Yeah. So this is perfect for our podcast. I think we love beer. We love finding new beers, and whereas everywhere else in the country, microbrewers are starting to go downhill. Everything's plus in Philadelphia. So
Hey,
yeah.
if you have a favorite brewery that you want us to go to and drink their beer and talk about them, or you're a brewery yourself and you want to have us in you, we would love to be in you so much. Please reach out to us at Abandoned Beers. Leave a thing in the comments or whatever, however you do things. What are we talking about now? The Shins?
Yeah, we're talking about the Shins. We can just
Wow,
get
all
right
right.
into it.
What are you listening to?
The Shins. You know them?
No.
You gotta hear this one song. It'll change your life, I swear. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to, you gotta fill out your forms. Conundrum. Think you could, maybe listen
Yeah,
while
I
you
think
fill
I
out
can
the
handle
forms?
it.
Yeah? Okay.
Gold teeth and the curse for this town are all in my mouth. Only I don't know how they got out here. It's good. I like it.
Song to say what you done. I told you about all those fears and the way they did run. You sure must be strong.
I've hidden the deed somewhere in the house, and the first of you to find it gets everything. Ready, get set, go!
Guys, I had a hard time with this one, not just doing what band is the Garden State movie, because quite honestly, as I was going through this, that's all I wanted to talk about and think about. It's like every time I listen to that first album again, I was like, oh, I should just do who is Natalie Portman's character, that manic pixie dream girl. She kind of got to really made that whole trope popular. I went down deep into that rabbit hole and not stopped really researching the band. It was very exciting for me.
This was a tough one for me. I, of course, knew about the Shins from Garden State and then didn't think about the Shins ever again. So to rediscover their full catalog on this, it was a journey into the infinite abyss.
See, I became a fan of the Shins right after I saw them in Garden State, and then I continued to buy their albums, one after another, despite not necessarily enjoying most of their newer music. I'm a sucker for Pain. I like to. I had a bad CD buying habit. I've since changed into a music streamer, so I don't buy CDs anymore.
It's a fad. It'll pass.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever CDs come back in style, I'm going to be the coolest guy ever, finally. So long story short, I was an early fan of the Shins, and then I kind of fell off as they continued to produce more music and removed band members from the band as well. So.
Yeah, almost rightfully
Is
so. And
everybody's
I think we'll learn about
various illnesses in check? Are we allowed to have alcohol?
Yes.
that. I'm going to.
Is somebody not supposed to have alcohol? What?
He's not supposed to drink?
Yeah, I have a thyroid disorder,
He
ladies
has
and
a
gentlemen.
thyroid disorder, everybody.
Yeah, with
If you haven't heard.
I haven't talked about it a lot, but I like to think that
He also plays lacrosse.
my disease causes extra level of thyroid hormones to be in my blood. They're called thyroxine. And
Of course they're called thyroxine.
Yeah, and
thyroxine.
I can almost never remember the name of that, so I do like to think of it as like thetans. So I like to think that I'm like on the L. Ron Hubbard level of thetans, and like I could just join Scientology, be a gangster.
Thetans are bad, bro.
Is it bad?
You're trying to get rid of things.
Oh my god! So I'd be terrible. I have to be audited nonstop.
Yeah,
Lots of auditing.
You better not be gay, dude. They will lock you down.
No, I mean like they get it out of you, right? With all that auditing.
Oh, that's what they do.
That's what they do. Yeah, they
Yes.
cure you of everything. We're against Scientology here on this podcast. I think it's a cult.
I'm
Anyway.
open to it.
Mm.
If you're willing to make me a superstar, I'll do
Do they make you a superstar? Or they
whatever
just
it takes.
attract superstars and celebrities.
You know.
Nancy Cartwright. Could you believe that one? Bart Simpson.
Yeah, she grew up. You know, all those people that grow up in it.
Hmm. She grew up in it.
She grew up in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Giovanni Ribisi, his parents were in it,
Oh, really?
so he was just in it. It's just like I don't know.
I guess if
I got dunked in water as a kid.
Yeah.
Everybody does weird
we
stuff
grew
everywhere.
up in Catholicism, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Chop
Yeah.
off your
We,
dick.
we all escaped.
Dunk you in water.
Yeah.
Let's drink beers. Come
Yeah,
on.
on that
I
note,
like-
let's.
Oh, guys,
we're
I
also
go
pro
first.
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Let me
well.
open this up. So, let's do it.
All right, Dusty's
cute
Dusty's
little
got a
backpack.
cute little lunch bag.
Yeah,
full of beer.
my daughter moved on in terms of lunch boxes. She wanted something a little more pizzazz. So now her lunchbox that has Lulu written across the front prominently.
So
It's
if
gonna be
since you can't drink beer, does that mean these are going to be juice boxes coming out of the?
I thought
lunch
about
bag?
going with like an athletic or something like that. But I can drink. It's just it's discouraged. So you'll see me that I have a glass that I'm gonna pour
It's
some
discouraged from everyone.
into. Yeah.
Everyone's supposed to not.
Yeah, the meds I take are real bad for the liver, so I'm not trying to compound the issues here. I don't want to
Right.
be yellow. If I turn yellow,
Well,
I'll
you
have
know.
to stop.
Yeah.
But until then, welcome to Industrial Arts Wrench.
Ooh.
So this is a beer, I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I think this is a delicious beer, really tasty beer. And they have a number of different beers. They have like Pocket Wrench, Allen Wrench, maybe. But it's all named after tools. They look virtually the same on the cans, except for it's a different kind of color scheme.
Yep.
I definitely went with the hazy IPA.
Okay.
The Shins to me are very indie, right? Like he is a experimental guy, James Mercer. That feature in Garden State is like by the most like hipster, like kind of fun girl ever. You know, will change your life. I think all of their beers, Industrial Arts, are all very good. They're all very similar, and I think this specifically this logo kind of in this band or can art is very like this band, that it's like has a very unique thing. They take different swings at the same exact thing, and I think as we go through the Shins, we're going to see they do a lot of that, where a lot of experimentation. They play with the same sounds over and over again to try to get it right. So let's have some beers.
All right.
Strong theses from Dusty.
I love
coming
a
out of
good
this one.
description of. I spend more time writing out my description of why I chose a beer instead of actually looking for the beer sometimes.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, pass that one down.
That would be
I'm
great.
taking half of a one.
Oh, right. All right.
Yeah, that's very responsible of you.
It does feel good. At first, this was hard to do, not just like being able to drink beers. I think it's going to change the way I research, for sure, because I'm not going to just be like randomly sampling new beers all the time.
Yeah. Ooh, that is really good.
Wrench.
I feel like this is like their main model.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like an adjustment off this. They have an American Pale Ale. They have a few ones. I love this brewery. I actually love this beer a lot.
I've seen Wrench on the shelves and just never been so bold enough to get it, but it's good.
This is really good. Listed as a hazy India Pale Ale, lush and zesty, 7.1% alcohol.
Yep. You know, that high ABV, that hazy IPA, I think it's something that like you shouldn't have too much of. Almost the same way that if you go a little too far into the Shins catalog, maybe it's, you know, I think you can grow a little weary, but I think it's very good music.
Good in small doses.
Yeah, you can tell he is very much experimenting. He got into music, and I know we're going to hear about that in a little bit. I liked what he was doing. I think he's trying really hard. He is an artist, for sure.
And he's unequivocally the Shins, because he's the only original member to be on every record.
Yeah. Shall I go into the Wikipedia description here?
Sure.
Let's do it.
All right. The Shins is an American indie rock band formed in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1996. The band is the project of singer-songwriter James Mercer, who has served as the band's solo constant member throughout.
Born in 1970.
Okay. What is it? It's what?
Old guy.
Yeah, I guess so. Right?
That's only it's like 14 years older than me.
Yeah, I guess in
I
2000.
don't even say I'm an old guy. Get that out of here.
Yeah, I guess in 2004 when Garden State was released, that would have put him right at right at 34, right?
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's not
Right in the
so
sweet spot.
bad. He's 50 now. Just struck me as like, wow, 50?
Yeah, that does seem like it does seem older.
Seems older.
Skews a little older.
Yeah. So there's been numerous lineup changes, and nowadays the band is based in, this will shock you, Portland, Oregon. That's
Huh.
where they're
Oh yeah.
the indie, hipster capital of the world, I'd say. No?
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree.
Portlandia.
It might not just be because of Portland, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So
Austin's trying to creep up there. We'll see
Yeah.
how they do.
So when I was doing my
Boise's
research,
coming up now.
Boise.
Boise's like the new spot.
is it? Okay.
Let's buy some.
I bet you
let's buy some
everybody's
real estate.
probably
Remember when Denver was the new spot?
Yeah, but Denver's too expensive now.
Now it's Boise.
Boise, all right.
Dan's just so eager to keep reading.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, no, I was thinking Montana's probably pretty popular now because of the hell's that show? Yosemite or Yellowstone?
Yellowstone.
I keep calling it Yosemite. I don't.
Well, people like Montana for what? Jackson Hole? Is that where that is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you search for the Shins in Wikipedia, you get a note that states this article is about the American band. For the Taiwanese band, see Shin.
Oh.
For the Georgian band, see the Shin.
Oh.
So Georgia is in the country, not
Yeah.
not the state.
Yeah.
So there are various
The Shin.
incarnations of
Yeah.
Shin or the Shins. So
Right. And I'm sure we're all thinking this is the part of the leg,
That's what I would
Yes.
imagine. Yeah.
but the name came from the family in Death of a Salesman or something.
okay, I did.
Sound
really? I
music?
didn't know.
I didn't go that deep.
That's what I might be wrong.
I dig it. Band was formed by James Mercer as a side project to a band that he was in at the time called Flake Music, who were active from 1992 to 99. That band's claim to fame is that they toured with Modest Mouse, another Portland, Oregon, type band. So
yeah. You mean Williamsport or Williamsburg to
Yeah,
Portland? Yeah.
either one or the other. Yeah.
And
Potato,
James
potato.
Mercer was in Modest Mouse, played with Modest Mouse.
He was in a band that toured with Modest Mouse. So that
right,
was their
but didn't
claim
he
to fame.
do maybe like vocals or something on one
He probably
thing?
did, yeah.
I think so, maybe.
And then genres that are listed on Wikipedia, only one genre, indie rock.
Indie rock.
That's
yeah.
it.
I have one other one because I went into like some reviews of the time versus like how we're looking at them now.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2014, John Dolan of the Rolling Stone referred to Garden State as a film that helped make Hollywood safe for indie pop, and he specifically mentioned the Shins as Baroque pop, which I think is like a super indie way to refer to something as indie pop.
I could see that.
Yeah,
Baroque
I do actually think so as well. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So
Seems like a diss.
I mean, a Baroque style is just like, so that's like 1960s European.
Oh.
Yeah. Depends.
It's got an
Did you say
accent over the E, probably.
1960s? Or 18?
Yeah.
Did you say 18?
I said 1960s.
No, I think it was like the 1600s.
Is
Baroque.
it?
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
it's just like how poor people made pop music.
Or maybe that's like just like where that became popular.
Yeah.
It was 1960s.
I think
pop.
Baroque, and I think of somebody.
The Baroque period.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Beethoven. Maybe it was, I don't know who would have fallen into the Baroque period. But
I'm like Mozart. You guys are like the guys who always hated Mozart.
Salieri? No, thank you. Already ate.
yeah, so sorry, I don't know what that's from.
Okay, good.
I'm pivoting. Yeah.
Plow through.
So yeah, the prior to New Slang being included in the soundtrack for Garden State, they were kind of a indie rock band that just kind of exists. They didn't really have any big hits.
They were
That was-
successful, but nobody knew them.
yeah, exactly. That song and being included in that movie would put them on the map. I got a quote from Stephen Hyden of AV Club that said, being included in the Garden State soundtrack is arguably the single most important thing ever to happen to the Shins. When Natalie Portman handed her headphones to Zach Braff in a doctor's waiting room and promised that the softly jangling new slang will change your life, the life that was changed belonged to Shins singer-songwriter James Mercer, who previously was famous only among fans of charmingly twee indie pop. So that put them in the on the mainstream map. So,
And then they toured like crazy. Like everybody knew them. Everybody wanted to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Colleges, tours, festivals. I mean, boom. They're like they became one of the bands. The Killers, the Strokes, the Vines, the Shins.
yeah, the early 2000s. That was the time period for that. I'm loving this beer, by the way.
It is
I
quite
was
tasty.
trying to not drink the whole can.
I had to make sure I only poured myself a little from one of yours. Yeah, otherwise I'd just drink the whole thing.
No,
Yeah, might be in trouble.
but definitely a good call on that beer. I'm loving it right now.
Yeah, check them out. Industrial Arts, everybody.
I hate
All
it
the
when
beers are
Dusty
good.
jumps out to a very good lead.
He
This
does,
is very
yeah.
hard to come back from. The thesis was on point. The beer is nice. It's matching. We're in a good mood. I hate it.
And his hair's looking pretty good today, too.
Well, I
so,
have it
yeah.
down and not up in that dumb knot I do.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
He's got perfect beanie hair. If he just gets a tight beanie to just, hide some of his shame, he'll be fine.
What shame is that? What are you talking about?
Nothing. What are you talking about?
You got shame going on? What's up?
I'm not feeling any shame right now. I feel
No.
good.
Speaking of shame, actually, I don't have a bib for that, sorry. Yeah, I think we're ready to...
That's all we got. Good.
yeah, I
All
think
right.
we're ready to take a break now.
Yeah, let's take a little break and
and
get out another beer.
regroup, and we'll get Pat's beer going.
We'll be back. All right. Snap and we're back. Rick Glassman, Take Your Shoes Off podcast. That's where I stole that from. You got to give credit when you steal things from people.
There you go.
Okay, here we are. Beer 2, the Shins, and trying to find a band for the trying to find a beer for the Shins, and I start thinking of why do I like the Shins? I like the Shins because Natalie Portman told me about the Shins. A hot girl said she liked a band, and of course, I can't say enough the power that a hot young girl has to get you to like things. The influence of a young, attractive lady. It can sell popsicles to a man in white gloves, sell
Yeah.
sand on a beach. They're just very good at it. It's probably one of the only things they're as good as men. Moving on. I found a beer that I don't pretend to know what women are like or what women actually like. I have no idea. But from what I understand, I don't think it's too incredibly out of line to say, necessarily women don't love beer. Beer sales skew towards men. Not that women don't like beer, but they like a kind of beer, a particular style of beer they like more than, So I wanted to go something in that world. And what I found was this.
Ooh.
Goose Island Sophie.
Sophie.
Oh, Sophie.
A beer that is designed to be like a white wine or a champagne.
So I'm going to tell you why I like this, even though it's, I think there's some themes in here I'm not totally driving with.
Drink as much as this or as little as you want.
I appreciate it. The Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Which is a term I
Stereotype.
can't stand.
I'm trying to help you out here, bud.
Go for it.
Which is like sort of like a kind of a, I wouldn't say it's not derogatory. It's a make 'em up kind of a person that's like a type of person that's not you're never gonna find in real life. And that's who Natalie Portman's character is. That's like your favorite movie, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like they have that in there. I think that's.
Ramona Flowers, don't you dare.
I'm gonna take her away from you. She's not real, Pat. She'll never
She doesn't have to be real, but she's badass.
She is really cool. Yeah. I mean, even Natalie Portman's character, although, like, what's her name? Sam?
Sam.
Sam.
I mean, your friend Sam.
Great character, right?
Great
Like,
character.
super fun and weird. You know, like, it's like almost a level of, like, type of person that's not going to be able to exist in the world.
Yeah.
And we're kind of basing this beer choice almost on that
as,
character.
I think we exist as fun and weird. But having a girl that would equal our fun and weirdness.
Not as good at it. You're
doesn't
right,
exist.
Dan. You're absolutely right. They're not as good.
Not because they're a girl.
We're talking about my beer now.
Shaking my head very loudly.
Let's hear about your beer.
If you enjoy a white wine or a champagne, like I'm assuming ladies might, you'll enjoy these saison or farm-style ales, which tend to balance refreshing. They're balanced and refreshing with a strong yeast flavor. This wide panel flavor pairs perfectly with your favorite cheeses. So this Goose Island is a Belgian-style saison with orange peel. Tell me where you taste this bad boy. Is it just on the tip of your tongue?
I'm getting. I was even looking to see if they had some of those other, like, kind of typical Belgian flavors, like coriander or whatever.
I'm saying 90% Belgian style ale blended with 10% Belgian style ale, aged in wine barrels with orange peel. I'm catching the orange peel.
Yeah,
It's
there's
kind
a lot
of
of orange in here. Yeah.
upon initial. I smelled the orange as soon as I opened up the bottle, and then my first sip, it kind of felt like drinking like a Hefeweizen type of beer. I don't know. I picked on that.
Yeah, it almost has that kind of thing.
I'll
yeah.
admit, first sip is tough, but the second sip is nice.
Yeah, this is a good beer, and I'm really happy you didn't work the extra yeast flavor into your thesis.
I was waiting for the other shoe to fall, and luckily it did not fall.
Thank you, everyone.
So to conclude, why I picked this, I'm a guy who likes to chug light beers at the old ball game or before at a tailgate or
A man's man, you might call yourself.
before a UFC fight or something. Just hard drinking, hard farting, tough man's man.
Gross macho man over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I understand
Hard drinking, hard.
that
farting.
might not be appealing to everybody. So this is something, maybe you're doing a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're packing
This is definitely a
sandwiches
good-
and
Yeah,
what
this
are
is
summer
those? What are
beer.
those
Yeah.
things called with all the things on them? You bring it. It's got.
Charcuterie board.
That's the one. You bring this. At
Charcuterie.
Sorry.
Charcuterie.
you're playing chartreuse. You got the thing. You lay out
I believe that's a color.
You always end up with ants. I don't know anybody ever goes on a picnic. Or,
I don't like sitting on the ground.
you're sitting. Yeah, it stinks.
I don't like picnics are bad.
It's dirty. There's no way you can sit where there's
It's
dirt.
uncomfortable. You can only have
Yeah, you're
sandwiches.
sitting on a root.
I mean, I like sandwiches, but like they're not.
And you're
like
eating with your hands. Your hands are dirty.
Yeah, you're walking around. God knows where you're having the
Sand's
picnic.
worse.
I mean, if you're in like a public park and
The
there's people
outside
around,
stinks.
you have to like lean back
Stay
and eat the
inside.
sandwich. People are gonna be watching you eat.
God.
Except for when you have ants in your house, then you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it gets
Bigger
weird.
Spray them
problem.
with deadly poisons.
Anyway,
Move on with your life.
I find this beer. This is something it's a hot, sweaty day, and you're looking for something refreshing. I think.
And then if you just get that do 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 do.
I think it's
Ooh,
and you're
definitely
sitting-
the
there's
right
like a little bit of
vibe, yeah.
water going on, like you're by
Yeah.
like a pond,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe like a lake.
I think I'm getting a lot of flavor of those wine barrels, and I think it must be like some kind of Chardonnay. And I think you were getting a lot of that flavor. It's kind of mixed. Maybe that's where I thought originally was that out loud.
And if I could give you one more, they're doing this on purpose. Goose Island, we know, doesn't
Yeah.
stop. They went out of their way to make this the same way the Shins and James Mercer went out of his way to define his style, his sound, very on purpose.
He's definitely very unique too. How many other bands do you know that sound like the Shins?
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, good point.
They're not alone in the genre, but
Yeah, I would almost. It's almost like they're like. I mean, maybe it's just Mercer's vocals that set them
Could be.
apart, but they are definitely like almost on an island.
But yeah, his singing style and then what he does with his voice, all very intentional, on purpose, just like this beer. Let's get into it.
All right, let's talk. Let's
Mm.
talk albums. All right.
Let's see if it holds up.
First
as we
album.
review.
Yeah, first album we're talking about. Oh, Inverted World. 2001 it came out.
Oh, inverted world.
It came out in 2001, but didn't find its full success until it was included on the Garden State
That's right.
soundtrack in 2004. So this album was out there for a little while, and they actually released another album before Garden State in 2004. It was Shoots Too Narrow in 2003. But first, let's talk about Oh Inverted World. From beginning to end, amazing album. New slang, caring is creeping. This album was actually released on Sub Pop Records, which was known for, they had been involved with Nirvana before Nirvana made it big, and
That's right.
Seattle type bands. And this album, once it hit it big, it helped to reestablish Sub Pop Records as a dominant force in the independent music community. So this was every song on this album I love. There's not one I can put this album on, have it going in the background while I'm doing whatever, and it's just I'm nice and peaceful and just enjoying.
Yeah, I listened to the 20th anniversary remastered edition, and no skips from beginning to end. Really enjoyable. New slang, I don't know what it is, but whether it's the singer, the songwriter, or it's the song or the songwriter,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else could sing this and make it a hit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
We gave it a go, and
We did. It
Right.
was not,
Not-
I don't think it was a hit.
yeah.
your
was
mother
no
is
Sharon
no Sharon
Stone.
Stone. But yeah, just to get this out of the way up front, I don't know what this guy's saying. He's speaking in a clear voice.
What are the actual lyrics to the
I
song?
don't know what the words
Oh, yeah,
to the
yeah.
songs are.
Mm.
I don't know what they mean. I don't get it. I get criticized for listening to music where people growl and scream and Cookie Monster vocals, and people go, "Oh, you can't hear what they're saying," and like sometimes you don't need to. With this, I enjoyed the songs without 100% knowing what was going on in the songs.
Yeah.
Except for New Slang, I knew all the words in New Slang. I guess because maybe I just heard it a whole bunch.
I think I do like some kind of like mumble along with it, which is like most of the music when I
That's-
try to sing along.
Yeah,
It's the
same.
part for the chorus.
I never know what the words are. I'm in a cover band and I still don't know the words to the songs that I'm singing. That's why I love doing backing vocals, because I can just rely on the lead singer. I can just kind of chime in the same words. I can hear what he's saying.
And it's okay to be like a little bit, it's half second off too when you're doing
Exactly.
backup,
It sounds even better. So,
yeah, generally. Yeah.
amazing album. It's their best album, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely their number one. It goes downhill from here. I wouldn't say like fast.
Yeah, not a far drop. With
I would
Shoots
say
Too
it's
Narrow.
fast. Going to the next album,
Shoots Too Narrow.
Narrow in 2003.
Yeah.
I could not pick a song out of that album that I.
Oh, right off the
Enjoy.
bat, "Kissing the Lipless" is a great opening
Yeah.
track. Really good song that I like.
Everything sounded
Uh,
the same to me on that album.
Saint Simon was one that stuck out. Gone for Good. Have you guys ever gone down a Shoot Too Narrow?
You know, I have little kids and I go down the slides with them a lot now. Not as comfortable as it used to be.
It might be my biggest fear
To be stuck on a slide?
to go down something and it to. You know when Homer goes on that water slide?
The
he's
water
too
slide.
fat,
Yeah,
and
That's
they
exactly what I
go,
was
"Oh,
thinking
there's a
of, yeah.
clog," and then they jam a bunch of kids. It's my maybe the top 3 fear of mine to be in a situation like that.
More than sharks.
Oh, I could just think about sharks all day as opposed to.
Ugh.
No, you're jammed in a tube and you can't get out.
What if it was like a mindless eating tube that is a shark?
Oh, you know how you do that? Stay away from the fucking ocean.
Well, you don't have to go down a slide.
Tunnels, any kind of like thing. where
Unless like you're going
I'm
up
not
against some kind
claustro-
of James Bond bad guy to hit a button.
I'm
and
not
put you in a-
claustrophobic. Like I could be in an elevator. It's something about like
Oh.
just a thing where like it's too slippery to climb up
Oh,
and
wow.
like, too close to get out. It just
lot
gives
of
me
times
the
they have, like-
heebie effing jeebies.
Oh,
They've
that's
got like,
interesting.
don't they have like doors that they can open up and pull you out if need be? Or-
And sharks?
No, I was talking about like water slides.
Well, in Jaws they had a thing you could.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Water slides? I don't know. Well, maybe at some point, but like Homer had to get airlifted out of there.
Yeah, they have to solve the thing.
The Simpsons teach us everything.
Yeah. In my family, we referred to that episode as the lost episode because we would record them all, and we knew we were missing one, and it was that one. So I think that one I actually don't know as well as like all those first 10 years as the rest of them because we couldn't find it ever, and they wouldn't replay it.
Wow.
Or they didn't replay it as much, or we missed it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right.
Lost episode. The Homer gets stuck in the water slide.
This is
Next
the one
album.
where Scratchy finally gets itchy.
Wincing the Night Away, 2007.
Ah, they come right back.
Interest-
This is a great album.
It
Interesting
is.
title.
I love this album.
Yeah.
Not as much as Inverted World, but I compared the Shoots Too Narrow. Like
Yeah, I think they dip a little bit. I think he comes right back with this one. I like it.
I preferred Shoots.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have some of my favorite songs on here. I really like Phantom Limb. I like Sleeping Lessons. I like Australia.
Sleeping Lessons is a snoozer for 2 minutes, and then it comes alive in like the last minute.
You know, I think I like a lot of songs like
Really interesting song.
Yeah.
Red Rabbits is one that people really seem to like.
that. Mm-hmm.
I think I get it. It's okay. Maybe not for me.
Yeah. I don't know. This was like a comeback album for me when it came out. I was like, all right, now the Shins are coming back after they almost lost me.
I think I in the moment was feeling the same way. I think, especially because we got introduced to the Shins in 2004 through Garden State. So I was like, oh, Inverted World. Like I immediately just went onto like my college BitTorrent and downloaded all of their music, and then like. So Shoots Too Narrow was available, and I was like, this is not as good. Like, I just want that first album. I just want to feel like I'm watching that movie and, like, you know, having some kind of second midlife puberty, as the way that Breath puts it.
There is like a thing where you're hoping to find another new slang, and it never happens.
No, it doesn't. That's true.
I guess that's a curse a lot of bands have to deal with.
You hit it big.
How many like all-time great songs can one person
Yeah.
have? Really, you know.
Exactly.
If you're Bruce Springsteen, it's like 50.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like thinking about Aerosmith recently. It's like they have Dream On, and then it's like completely different after that. And it's like you almost have to discard it. It's like this isn't the same people anymore.
What are you talking about? You know, like skiddly bop diddle diddle bop bop diddle bop bop wow.
You know, it's it has its moments, but it's just not the same thing as Dream On at all.
His voice totally changes. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
2012, Port of Morrow comes out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was one or two songs I enjoyed on this, but for the most part, it was a lot of filler music to me.
This is why I love doing this podcast. I love Simple Song, and it was really fun for me to like go through some of this where I thought I wouldn't like the Shins any of their music after that, after Wincing the Night Away. I really enjoyed this song a lot, and I was really pumped to find a new Shin song that I've never didn't have any kind of. I must have just wrote them off completely, and like coming back to it, I was really happy to have this.
Port of Morrow was an interesting album, but because, excuse me,
Ooh.
That's also that female Sophie beer.
Yeah.
You know, it causes all of that belching, which
that-
you know is
all that
very
yeast.
Yeah, all the yeast. It's bubbling up inside of your guts right
It
now,
is.
Pat.
Kind of like a joke that you might want to. Oh,
Another thing might have read.
sorry. Port of Morrow.
Interesting album, but because I listened to it, and then I listened to it again. I gave it multiple runs because I actually did kind of enjoy Port of Morrow. I just can't pick out a song. So many of them blend together that I work in a factory, and I'll be listening to the album, and I'll take a look at my phone, and 5 songs will have gone by.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all of them, but I don't know if I soaked in or absorbed or got to learn the title of any of them.
Yo, it's funny. I had the exact opposite just for Simple Song, because this is literally my notes.
Simple Song is the best song.
I was I was working at my desk, and I had to stop what I was doing and be like, what is happening? And kind of retrace my steps and be like, this is awesome. I really like this. And then I just put it on repeat.
I think
for a
I
while.
might like Fall of '82 or 40 Mark Strauss at the end, but I can't be sure.
Yeah.
All right. their latest album, Heartworms,
I got a real problem with this album.
2017. What do you
Is
got?
it their latest album?
Did they have another?
The Worms Heart.
I forgot about that album. Sorry,
And then they have a new single just released, The Great Divide.
I didn't write that down. Sorry.
That's all right. Continue.
What are we talking about now?
Heartworms.
Hot Funds.
So, Heartworms has a inverted album,
The Worms Heart.
and it's the same songs played in a different sequence, but like the slow songs are
All
played
right, so
fast.
that's
and
why I
fast.
didn't write it down then.
Mm.
Sorry.
But I would say
And I don't know what I listen to.
it's not just fast and slow. He completely changes.
He changes all the songs. I don't know what I don't know any. I don't what
So
happened.
between Wincing the Night Away, and I believe this is Dan's part of the podcast, and this one, he fired his band members.
Oh yeah, everybody's gone. Yeah,
That's correct.
So I think I think he's going through something. He's kind of really working things out. And those band members, I think, were rightfully fired, if I was reading correctly.
Yes. So, all right, Wincing the Night Away was, a major success for the band. Peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200. And
Oh,
earned
nice.
a Grammy Award nomination.
Nominated.
Then they took like a 5-year hiatus. And this was a time when James Mercer was approached by Danger Mouse, if everybody's familiar with Danger Mouse. They had
Broken Bells.
Yeah, that's right. They had a collaboration project called Broken Bells. James Mercer enjoyed the fresh approach of, meeting new musicians and working with new people, so he decided to part ways with the version of the Shin. All the band members that were in the Shins up until 2007, he tossed them out to the to the street, and
I thought there was a little bit of drama too.
yeah, there was a lot of drama as well. I did not write that down. Sorry.
One of the members was in a domestic violence situation,
Yeah.
of which he was later exonerated. Is that how it's phrased?
Excoriated,
It
exonerated. I
depends
don't know
on
which
what
one's
actually happened.
Did
yeah.
was he guilty or no?
He didn't get charged.
Okay,
Whether he did
alright.
or not, I have no
Yeah.
idea. But yeah, James Mercer just said bye to everyone, including like the guy who he'd been in the band since like 1999, and then invited them back to come and record stuff.
Yeah.
Like the balls on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I don't want you to be in the Shins anymore.
Well, he was.
I'm making a new Shins record. I need you to come by and lay down some tracks.
There was like interviews with him where he's like, we are the Shins, and then he goes into it, and he's ultimately, I think he decides like, oh, I guess I am the Shins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why after Wincing the Night Away, I kind of turned off a little bit on the Shins
Yeah.
as a whole.
Mindenhall, I think, is a good song off this, but
That's-
again, I can't be sure.
I have Mindenhall,
Mindenhall.
and then going into the Worm's Heart, I was like, maybe I will, now that I'm aware of what's happening here, try to figure it out. And I was like,
yeah.
pass.
I didn't like
I like so now what rubber balls. I was like they're fine.
Yeah, I didn't like the, Heartworms album, so I didn't really give too much, of a listen to
Yeah.
to the reverse or flipped whatever, album that they did
That-
he did. So,
Yeah, and that
I
latest
was
single.
so mad. I was like, I didn't listen to the right one.
It's a weird thing to do where he just completely rewrites all of his songs.
Yeah.
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 not someone who's, creative genius or whatever.
I bet if
Exactly.
you love
Yeah.
the Shins, I bet it's awesome because, it's just another version of the song you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people love when you redo like songs that are popular.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
one of my things.
Depends on who the band is, I guess,
Yeah.
for me.
Definitely.
This is like a newfound glory kind of thing, or
What about
A never-ending story.
You mean, going
you're not
to
talking about just
Mystic
straight
or-
cover songs, or
Whoa.
Oh no, I was talking about doing your own songs,
own songs, like
differently.
figuring it out again.
Like
yeah.
I think U2 is going to be releasing.
Pass.
What's that? Pass.
Yeah.
They're redoing like some of their popular songs differently. Yeah. AKA just trying to get more money.
That
out
seems
of
like a
people.
cash grab.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the Shin's music.
All right.
I'd say. I think Sophie's it's been a good beer. I've been casually drinking it through
Yeah.
this part of the.
I've been
the segment.
sipping in it like it's on a nice, warm spring
Exactly.
evening.
Quenching your
like
thirst a little bit.
Casual.
talking to my
Real
other
chill.
folks. We're all wearing like long dresses. Like we are
You
we're
know who would
out
love
on
this
the on
beer?
the From the vineyard.
Gatsby.
Gatsby. Oh,
The grape?
Yeah, he'd love it.
This is something they would be drinking in Oyster Bay.
And his girl Daisy, probably.
Yeah. All right, I think we're ready for a quick break, and then let's bring out my my beer to close things out here on
Let's
the
do it,
shins.
boys.
We'll be back.
All right, so I'm ready to introduce my beer. I always write some notes to myself when I'm working on figuring out what beer I'm going to choose for a band.
Sure.
My first note, something whimsical, light and airy, maybe a session IPA that is light to drink,
That makes sense.
similar
to me.
to kind of the beer that Pat got for
You're
us,
right, I
although
was
it's a
right.
little heavy. Something from New Mexico. Band's from New Mexico originally.
Albuquerque. Yeah.
Maybe a coffee stout, since this is music that
crystal
you would
meth
hear
themed.
in a coffee shop. Thought about that.
That's a good thought.
I considered selecting a beer that changed my life to try to relate to Natalie Portman's lines from Garden State.
It's the most important reason why we're doing the shins.
Yeah, but then I decided not to go that route because I didn't want to waste the good beer on the shins. I didn't think it was worthwhile.
Ooh.
Originally,
Shots
I
fired.
thought about I was gonna go Pliny the Elder, which is
Oh,
my
wow.
all-time favorite beer.
It's his all-time
It changed
favorite
my
beer.
life.
It changed your life.
Yes, just the way the shins were supposed to change your life.
From the Russian River.
Would have been waste of a good beer, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's right. Your all-time favorite beer. I don't think you
Yeah.
can use it for this.
So I went for a beer that is advertised as, there's tons of advertisements for this beer all over the place. Huge letdown, though, when you actually drink it, in my opinion, as someone who enjoys beers. And it's something that's light and airy in a sense.
Is it Shenyang?
We're going to go Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra.
Whoa.
Very light and airy.
That should be a twist-off
Yo,
bottle.
I probably can drink this whole thing. This is
Yeah, I didn't even know
hardly
that
a
you
beer.
were, I didn't know you were.
So happy I'm on a diet. And this is only 95 calories.
So Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer that is made for those living active and balanced lifestyles.
Uh-huh.
This light lager is brewed with Hercules hops and wholesome grains,
Oh yeah.
creating exceptional taste and a crisp, refreshing finish. So I just there's advertisements all over the place for Michelob Ultra. They advertise the athletes as if it's like the Gatorade of beers.
Yeah.
They want athletes to, this is the beer you need to drink if you're, you have a fit lifestyle or whatever. And I kind of looked at it as this is a beer that gets advertised as if it's going to change your life if you're an athlete. But then when you drink it, you're just kind of eventually let down taste-wise.
There's not a whole lot to the taste of it. I would say that is very true.
And that's the way I look at the Shins music. There's a little bit of taste initially, but then as you're drinking more and more, you're just you're let down.
Now you're just hydrating essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what, the Shins are just music that's hydrating you. If it's in the background, like when you're listening to them.
Interesting.
It's hydrating your ears in a sense.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I think especially with like the way that their music sort of tapers off. I think, it has that little dip. It stays pretty good, and then it does start to go down.
Yeah.
Like if we were charting it out.
And I just kept coming back to the way Natalie Portman advertised them as a band.
Oh, I
They're going
know.
to change your life. And it's like, Michelob Ultra is
You-
going to change
we
your
wanted
life
them
as
to
an
change your
athlete.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, I went out with a couple of friends of ours recently, and to make sure I didn't really drink, I had Michelob Ultra. That wasn't
There you go.
what I went to there. I was like, I'm gonna have this. It was a Monday. I was like, I have work tomorrow. This doesn't hardly even counts.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember being underage and drinking. And this was it seemed like an adult beer.
Yeah, it did. It did.
My dad, it wasn't Michelob Ultra. It didn't exist. But when growing up, his beer was Michelob.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
wow.
like it was a weird bottle that had like I can't explain it. It was like a chubby bottle.
Yeah, I used to
like thinned out at the neck a little, not like this kind of bottle.
I used to
thinned out.
10 bar, and Jen Roan's dad used to come in and drink Michelob. I was just like, you're the only person that has
That
ever-
was my dad.
has
Growing up,
ever
that
ordered
was
this beer.
that was his beer.
Michelob
was
regular.
Yeah,
Michelob forever.
Yeah.
Michelob heavies.
yeah.
That's funny.
And I remember, I think I sneaked the taste one time, and it tasted so horrible that I was like, I am never drinking beer. As a kid.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first beer was a MGD, and I remember being like, "Oh, that's right. This is what beer's supposed to taste like."
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, so long story short with this beer, I did not come in for taste or anything. You know, you guys
Some
had
things
some great
you
beer
learn to
selections.
appreciate over time.
That is true.
Yes. But this beer, it's a letdown just the way the Shins kind of
Is
are.
it the
Yeah.
superior light beer?
I mean, I think in our lives, we probably drank more, Miller Lite
Yeah.
as our.
But
I'm gonna
Miller
say-
Lite's got more carbs than this. So.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
we've have people in our crew that are B minuses.
Mm,
They love a Bud Light.
yeah.
Who's that?
Mikey. F's-
He's all
Oh,
about Bud
yeah.
Light
F's
versus
with
Miller
Bud
Lite.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
right.
like I've drank plenty of Miller Lights with Mikey though.
I always remember being him and his crew were just like
Oh, so him and his
Yeah.
buddies. Yeah.
Maybe
But-
he's from the Midwest.
Bud heavies and B minuses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we're just going real East Coast with this bias.
Could be.
Yeah, Miller Lite's always been my go-to beer when it's, when I'm
we
looking
used to get
I'm
kegs
looking to,
of Yingling Light,
Yeah.
yeah,
which is
yeah.
a very I don't know anywhere else in the world where
Nah.
you can get a case of Yingling Light.
Nobody buys kegs anymore. Like, if I'm having a party, I'm not getting a keg of beer. I'm getting
Right.
a variety of different
You
beers.
seem like
Ah.
a kegerator man. You should probably
I
upgrade to that.
would
You
probably
have
be
that bar.
300 pounds if I had a keg
Ah,
grater.
that's a good point.
It would not do well, because you got to drink the beer. It's
Yeah.
it's
Right.
gonna go
I mean,
bad.
what are you gonna
So,
do?
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah. It's got a lifespan. So, well, I've thought about it plenty of times.
All
Don't,
right,
don't
yeah.
get me wrong, but I would I'd become even bigger than I already am. So it wouldn't be good for health wise. So
Children, gather around and listen to your father.
yeah, I'd be
telling stories.
I'd be holding up shop in my basement bar by
Hey,
myself.
Hogan, come sit at the bar. I gotta
Yeah.
talk to you.
Hey, Daddy wants to tell you about the birds and the bees. Come on over.
All right.
Women are like a beer.
You ever heard of Sophie beer? Now, Hogan, when you grow up,
It's all about the yeast, Hogan.
One's not enough. You want another? So what are we gonna do? A top 9?
top 9. Whew.
I only wrote down 6 songs, so hopefully you guys
Wow.
don't take.
Yeah, it's gonna be crucial.
5, 6,
Who
7.
gets the first pick in this?
It is. All right, what's our category today?
You picked the Shins, Dusty. Do you have a particular thing you want us to categorize?
Let's I think all of us are that Garden State is our touchstone, and definitely that
Cities in New Jersey.
That's right. All right, let's do it, Elizabeth.
No, I don't know any.
Princeton.
Let's go with Movies by Natalie Portman.
Whoa.
Yeah.
A last man stand for Natalie Portman movies. Can I go first?
No. Dan, go ahead.
Let's go with V for Vendetta.
You fucking dummy. You always do this. Garden State.
I'm gonna go with The Phantom Menace.
Ah, crap! I should have been preparing for this. I should have seen it coming. I got
No,
nothing.
all you have to do is think.
I can't think.
Think of one.
I've been drinking. Sorry.
Think of one.
Another Star Wars movie, but
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're
The
called.
second one. The third one.
I don't remember what they're called.
Think of another thing.
I'm out.
Oh my god.
You are the worst. The absolute worst. Star Wars. The Clone Wars.
Star Wars: Attack of the Sith.
Dude.
It's Revenge of the Sith.
Say it right. Leon the Professional.
Black Swan.
5, 4,
Thor: The Dark World.
3.
So I'll do Thor: Love and Thunder.
She's not in that. Oh yeah, she's
Yeah, she is.
she's the mighty Thor.
Yeah.
No, Year One.
All right, I'm gonna go with
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, yeah.
I don't think she's in Year One.
No.
No,
Yeah. No.
she's in that Danny McBride movie where they go back in time. Or
Hot Tub Time Machine?
no, they're not back in time. They're in the olden times,
Okay.
Oh.
and they're doing a thing. She might be in Year One too, but I know Olivia Wilde is in that.
Yeah, I know she's done a lot of movies, but I just
She's
can't
done a
think
ton
of
of
them.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's done a lot of things.
I can't think of any right now, which
No.
is weird.
Here's the thing with me not being able to name Star Wars movies. I only know like the first, like Star Wars: New Hope.
Oh, okay.
I know Return of the Jedi and whatever what's the Empire Strikes Back. Those are the 3 movies Star Wars that
V
I
for
know by
Vendetta was
name.
a good pull.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that one would have
That-
been one of mine.
Well, here's the thing. There was a band named after that. Natalie Portman's shaved head
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because she shaved her head in
What do
that
we got?
movie.
I could have done Thor, which I was like, what's the subtitle? I didn't remember. Yeah, Closer, No Strings Attached.
What about Year One? Is she in that?
Let me see. Mars Attacks, that's one. Zoolander, I don't
she
remember.
Oh,
wasn't-
yeah, she's the girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's the president's daughter in Mars Attack.
love that movie.
Let me see. I'm not seeing Year One anywhere.
They've killed
I don't know.
Congress.
The Darjeeling Limited, she's in. I know that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Scroll up.
I'm looking. Jackie. She was Jackie.
Yeah, that's right.
And Heat, she's in? Oh, she must have been a kid.
How about that? All right, so Dusty's got first pick.
All right, let's do it. Not in Year One. All right.
You
so,
writing these down too?
Yeah, I got it. All right, boys. Let me see. All right, so I'm going to go first. Pat, Dan. Let me see. So, all right, for my first pick, I guess I'm going to take it. I'm going to, because I don't lose it, New Slang. All right,
You've
Pat.
already won.
Oh, give me Kissing the Lipless.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna stay with O Inverted World. I'm going Caring is Creepy.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't love that one.
No,
That was my next one up, yeah.
and then I'm gonna come back and take Australia.
Ooh,
I like
that
Australia.
one. I want it. I liked Australia a lot.
Yeah, that would have been coming up for me as well. All right, Patrick.
Yeah. How about
PJZ.
Know Your Onion? That's the one I like.
Know Your Onion.
You stole one of my 6 songs that I had listed.
All right, I'm going to go with Simple Song because I enjoy it so much. All right, and then for my last one, wrap me up.
Don't do it. Don't take mine.
Sleeping Lessons.
All right. Okay. You know what? Give me Mendenhall. I'll take a late.
Mendenhall.
I'll take a late round pick with
from
Mendenhall.
Hot Femmes.
Yeah. Or Wormheart.
I'm gonna wrap things up with Phantom Limb.
Yeah, that was my next one too,
Not
Danny.
Phantom Menace, but Phantom Limb.
Yeah. Which ones did you guys not get to? The only one that wasn't taken from my list is The Great Divide.
The Great Divide?
Yeah.
We hit every
Yeah,
all 6
all 6.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah. We tapped you out.
Woo.
Yeah, you would have been in real trouble, buddy, if we
I
all.
had my phone here ready to dig in. I would have picked the song at random from O Inverted World. All right, what's our?
I don't know if there's not a deep bench.
Yeah. So besides the Garden State, guys, like, what's our interaction with the Shins in our lives? I think it's, for me, just Garden State. I think that's like
That's
that
it.
movie was a big movie for me at just the right time. I think like first year in college and really hitting that.
We weren't over Zach Braff yet.
Yeah, no, we were probably just getting
We were
into
buying
Zach Braff.
into
Yeah,
Zach
yeah,
Braff.
we were.
This was like that. This was like the pinnacle. of
Homie,
Zach
I was
Braff.
welcome pretty quick, though. No?
Yeah,
No?
I
Am
mean,
I wrong?
he's directing Ted Lasso.
He's a good director.
Yeah,
He makes interesting films.
yeah. I don't have anything against Zach Braff.
No.
Love him. Yeah. So what's our list, real quick?
Oh yeah, let me do a little recap.
I made you write them down, right?
Oh, I have them. All right, so let's see. Dusty picking first. I went with New Slang, Simple Song, and Sleeping Lessons. Patrick went with Kissing
Good list.
the Lipless, Know Your Onion,
that one.
and Mendenhall.
My list is good, dude.
You got some
Dan.
variety there.
Yeah, that went deep cuts. Caring is Creepy, Australia, and Phantom Limbs. Is it the version of Australia with Peter, Bjorn, and Paul?
PB&J?
Yeah,
No, I like the original.
yeah, same.
Love me some PB&J, but
Do you?
nah, I do.
Okay,
Well, just that one album.
I guess so.
Yeah,
That
with the
Australia-
whistling.
That Australia song's good.
Yeah.
I wanted that one.
Yeah, love that song.
All right. I'm ready to pick.
Let's pick some beers.
Let me pick.
All right, Pat's gonna go first.
This
Michelob Ultra that you're drinking?
I didn't enjoy.
No.
But man, you did really come up with a compelling
Yeah.
story behind why it would be the Shins. And you know, a band that changes your life, but doesn't. You
Yes.
know, really just captures your attention for a short period of time and then sort of like fades over time. Points. I'll give you points.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But ultimately, I'm going to have to go with Wrench.
Ranch.
Wrench really, I think, the sort of style, brewery, and the marketing of
Yeah, and the label art.
the philosophy of the brewery, I think, was all very shinny to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll take a second here. I definitely there's bands that made me feel this way, Dan. Exactly what you were saying about Michelob Ultra, where it's like there's a lot of build up, some like clever marketing about it, and then it just not pull through. And there's something about that movie Garden State that really just gets me. I think to this day, did you
Good
guys
movie.
rewatch it?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you think when you rewatched it?
It's dated.
Yeah.
Still loved it though.
Yeah. No cell phones. It would have been much easier to get those earrings back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That and you see like actors that the guy from Big Bang Theory was the
The guy in the
Oh,
night
yeah.
costume.
his mom's wife. The
Yeah.
mom is in Hacks,
Yeah.
the HBO.
Method Man's in it.
Yeah, Method Man's in it.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He's the
He was
hotel
like
guy.
a bellhop.
Yeah.
He sold
Oh,
him the.
besides that.
In the greatest rap group of all time?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't say I know much about the Woo.
I don't.
If we ever did an episode on the Woo, I would have so much discovery to do.
Yeah.
It would take me like a month.
I recently started listening to.
METHOD.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast that cut for 90 songs and it covered Cream, the song.
Did it really?
Yeah. Cash rules everything, and wait, I've already screwed that up.
Cash rolls everything around me.
Around
Cream,
me.
get
Thank
the
you.
money.
There you
Oh,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Cream every day before I went to work.
So as we were making our choices and I was hearing what you guys were saying, a session ale really stuck with me for a lot of this, and it feels like because it's like it's kind of fun, but like having too much of a session ale doesn't like really get you anywhere, right? It's like the try different tastes, and I think that's exactly what it's doing. And I think Sophie's closer to that, so I'm gonna go with Sophie.
Good call.
All right. The
All right.
decision.
Decision maker, me. All right. Both of you had great, compelling arguments for your beers. You walked the fine line there, Pat, with your beer selection. We were waiting to see if you were going to cross that line. You were a gentleman today, so
I didn't even think of the line. You were the ones who
yeah.
thought of the line.
We thought we knew where you were
I
going.
was like,
yeah.
oh goodness.
Pat, the way you
Give me points for.
yeah, you're a gentleman and a scholar. So I'm gonna. It was a tough decision. Both beers were good, but like the initial, when I took a sip of the Industrial Arts Wrench, it just
Chinned
blew
you
me.
up.
Yeah, blew me away. And there was no letdown. So maybe I should have deducted some points to better align with
Right.
with the
Right.
Shins. There should have
Yeah.
been a letdown a little bit, but I'd say Wrench is the Shins.
All right,
You son of a bitch. Good match.
snuck one in.
Good game.
We're continuing our whoever picks the band wins the
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a streak of
Little
that.
streak
It's interesting.
might break soon. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. Well, all right. Let's move on from the Shins. I need a palate cleanser.
All right.
You guys know what I call these?
Hmm?
A fun one.
No,
Yes.
this is a
This was
fun
a
one.
fun one.
Yeah.
I feel like I can say anything during this episode.
You could.
What?
Because
What?
we're gonna do say anything next.
The
Oh,
band
Dan.
or the
Not
movie?
the movie.
You rascal!
Thank you.
Oh wow. How long have
That's
you
my
been?
pick.
Anything is next, huh?
That's right.
All right.
All right.
Let's hear what
Hey,
Max
guys,
has to say.
Why don't we do it in the same spot, in relatively the same clothes?
Well, I would like to take a shower.
No.
All right, no showers.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
We'll crack a window if we stink. Yeah.
Yeah, a
let's-
little behind the scenes. Let's just record another one right now.
All right.
My water heater's broke, so no shower for me.
Oh no.
Oh, that's tough. Cold shower is better for you anyway.
We are. You're right. We are Abandoned Beers. This has been The Shins are a beer. And for me, Pat Zapp, the great Dan McHenry, and the equally great Dusty Swartz, we're saying
Let's see you guys.
Keep drinking and
Abandoned beers.
A band and beers?
abandoned beers.
We can suck my equipment mother. Drink till I'm sick, bring it through. And pump nurses down the hall. Watch you laugh and cry while I laugh you die. And all the dudes, you know I'm talking to you.
We love you, Natalie.
I wanna you too. It's for Portman. It's for I'll kill your dog for fun, so don't push me.
Wow. Natalie, I'm surprised. All this from a Harvard graduate.
Well, there's a lot you may not know about me.
Really? Such as?
When I was in high